students. Welcome to our grammar class. The topic we are going to cover today is conditionals. We've got four types of conditionals: zero, first, second, and third. We call them if sentences as well. So each if sentence has got, usually they have got two halves, like two clauses. The first one is if part, we call it if clause, and the other part is like the result part, where we have got the result because of this condition, and here we can use words like can, will, may, might, could, and would. Zero conditional. Usually, to use zero conditional, we use it for universal truths or for the things which happen on a regular basis. If clause will have present simple, and then main clause we use present simple again. For instance, if I'm ill, I usually stay in bed, or if I'm late for school, my teacher gets angry. There is an example given here for you. If I oversleep, what happens if you oversleep? If I oversleep, I miss the bus. If I miss the bus, I'm late for school. And if I'm late for school, my teacher gets angry. Here we can see an angry teacher. Now, first conditional. So first conditional usually refers to the future. And in the if clause, we again use present simple, but the main clause, it can have will, future simple, modal verbs can, may, must, and etc. If I go to London, I will see the Big Ben. Or let's say, if it rains tomorrow, I will carry an umbrella. Here we can see the if part. If I go to London, so think of the continuation. I will see the Big Ben. Next one. If I go to Buckingham Palace, I can take a photo of the Royal Guard. If you go to London, you must look right before crossing a street. The next one. Second conditional. And usually second conditional refers to the present situations. If clause usually has got past simple, and then main clause consists of would, could, might, plus verb 1. If I were an astronaut, I would travel in a spaceship. Note that the verb be is usually in the if clause is used in the form of verb. We wouldn't say that was is wrong here, but this is how universally it is used. We use verb. If I were an astronaut, I would travel in a spaceship. Or let's say, if I were a magician, I would give parents to all the orphans in the world. If I traveled in a spaceship, I would go to Mars. Note that here we are using past simple and the verb, second type of the verb, second form of the verb. If it's regular verb, then of course it's easy form. If it's irregular verb, then we take it from a table. Another example, if I went to Mars, I would meet a Martian. Can you see here? A human being shaking hands with a Martian. If I met a Martian, I wouldn't understand him. And then if I did not understand him, I would come back to the earth. Here you can see the negative form of past simple. Now third conditional. Third conditional usually refers to the past events, the condition which cannot be changed. So let's say yesterday you failed the exam, you got a bad mark, and now today you are thinking about it, but there is nothing can be done about it. You cannot change anything. And here in the if clause we use past perfect, and in the main clause we use would, could, might, have plus past participle. Note that this is like future perfect in the past. If I had studied hard, I would have passed my exams. Here you can see how a boy having his F grade is being kind of scolded by the teacher. If you had studied hard, you wouldn't have failed your exam. And then mom is shouting at him. If you had passed your exam, you could have gone to the beach. And then the guy like himself, sitting and regretting. If I had gone to the beach, I would have made sand castles. Now, you've got some exercises to do. You're going to make zero conditional sentences first. Use cues. Jane / eat / too much chocolate / she / get / sick. And then the next one, you not eat, you die. You heat ice, it melts. Take your time, take half a minute to make up your own sentences, zero conditionals. Okay, can we check it? So if Jane eats too much chocolate, she gets sick. As you guessed, right? Both parts, we use present simple in both parts. The next one, if you don't eat, you die. So if you don't eat, you die. Or in case you don't eat, you die. If you heat ice, it melts. This is again universally accepted truth. And here we have got examples with conditional sentences, second type. And you are asked to put the verbs in brackets in the correct form. If you dash leave your job, you dash travel around the world. If you dash be nicer to him, he dash lend you the money. It dash be nice if the rain dash stop. Take your time and come up with your own versions. Okay. If you left your job, you would travel around the world because probably you would have enough time to do that. If you were nicer to him, he would lend you the money. It would be nice if the rain stopped. I guess you did all correct. And now let's do the exercise with the third conditional sentence. Again, you ask to put the words in correct order. He crashed his car because he fell asleep while driving. If he dash fall in parentheses asleep while driving, he dash crash his car. I lost my job because I was late for work. I dash, there is a mistyping. There should be one O. Lose my job if I dash be late for work. We couldn't go to the concert because we didn't have enough money. If we dash have enough money, we dash go to the concert. Okay. I hope you all did it correctly. So he crashed his car because he fell asleep while driving. If he hadn't fallen asleep while driving, he wouldn't have crashed his car. The next example. I lost my job because I was late for work. I wouldn't have lost my job if I hadn't been late for work. We couldn't go to the concert because we didn't have enough money. If we had enough money, we would have gone to the concert. Thank you for your attention and goodbye.